Hey guys, and I'm not reading Act 3, I'm reading Act 4 now because I'm trying to predict how everybody's reading, and I figured, maybe Act 4 would be more useful. If you haven't read, that is far too bad, because I'm gonna read Act 4. Okay, starting in Act 4, a cell in Salem jail, that fall. At the back is a high barred window, near it a great heavy door. Along the walls are two benches. The place is in darkness, but for moonlight seeping through the bars. It appears empty. Presently, footsteps are heard coming down a corridor beyond the wall. Keys rattle, and the door swings open. Marshall. Herrick enters with a lantern. He's nearly drunk and heavy-footed. He goes to a bench and nudges a bundle of rags lying on it. Sarah, wake up. Sarah Good. He then crosses to the other benches. Sarah Good, rising in her rags. Oh, Majesty, come in. Tituba, he's here. His Majesty has come. Herrick says, go to the north cell. This place is wanted now. He hangs his lantern on the wall. Tituba sits up. Tituba, that don't look like His Majesty to me. Look to me like the Marshal. Herrick, taking out a flask. Get along with you now. Clear this place. He drinks, and Sarah Good comes and peers up into his face. Sarah Good. Oh, it is you, Marshal. I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have a sip of cider for me going away? Herrick, handing her the flask. And where are you off to, Sarah? Tituba, as Sarah drinks. We're going to Barbados soon. The devil, the devil gets here with the feathers and the wings. Herrick, oh, a happy voyage to you. Sarah Good. A pair of blue birds winging southerly. The two of us. Oh, it'd be a grand transformation, Marshal. She raises the flask to drink again. Herrick, taking the flask from her lips. You'd best give me that now, or you'll never rise off the ground. Come along now. Tituba. I'll speak to him for you if you desire to come along, Marshal. Herrick. I'd refuse it, Tituba. It's the proper morning to fly into hell. Tituba. Oh, it'd be no hell in Barbados. Devil him be pleasure man in Barbados. He'd be singing and dancing in Barbados. It's you folks. You riles him up around here. It'd be too cold around here for that old boy. He frees his soul in Massachusetts, but in Barbados he just as sweet and a belling cow is heard, and Tituba leaps up and calls to the window. Aye, sir, that's him, Sarah. Sarah Good. I'm here, Majesty. They hurriedly pick up their rags as Hopkins, a guard, enters. Hopkins, the deputy, states, the deputy governor's arrived. Herrick, grabbing Tituba. Come along, come along. Tituba, resisting him. No, he come in for me. I'm going home. Herrick, pulling her to the door. That's not Satan. Just a poor old cow with a hatful of milk. Come along now. Out with you. Tituba, calling to the window. Take me home, devil. Take me home. Sarah Good, following the shouting Tituba out. Tell him I'm going, Tituba. Now, you tell him Sarah Good is going too. In the corridor outside, Tituba calls on, Take me home, devil, devil, take me home. And as Hopkins enters, Hopkins' voice orders her to move on. Herrick returns and begins to push old rags into straw into a corner. Hearing footsteps, he turns and enter Danforth and Judge Hawthorne. They are in greatcoats and wear hats against the bitter cold. They are followed in by Cheever, who carries a dispatch case and a flat wooden box containing his writing materials. Herrick. Good morning, Excellency. Danforth. Where is Mr. Paris? Herrick. I'll fetch him. He starts for the door. Danforth. Marshal. Herrick stops. When did Reverend Hale arrive? Herrick. It were toward midnight, I think. Danforth. Suspiciously. What is he about here? Herrick. He goes among them that will hang, sir, and he prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Mr. Paris with him. Danforth. Indeed. That man have no authority to enter here, Marshal. Why have you let him in? Herrick. Why, Mr. Paris command me, sir. I cannot deny him. Danforth. Are you drunk, Marshal? Herrick. No, sir. It is a bitter night, and I have no fire here. Danforth, containing his anger. Fetch Mr. Paris. Herrick. Aye, sir. Danforth. There's a prodigious stench in this place. Herrick. I have only now cleared the people out for you. Danforth. Beware hard drink, Marshal. Herrick. Aye, sir. He waits an instant for further orders, but Danforth, in dissatisfaction, turns his back on him, and Herrick goes out. There is a pause. Danforth stands in thought. Hawthorne. Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised he have been preaching in Andover lately. Danforth. We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That's strange. He blows on his hands, moves towards the window, and looks out. Hawthorne. Excellency, I wonder if it be wise to let Mr. Paris so continuously with the prisoners. Danforth turns to him, interested. I think, sometimes, the man has a mad look these days. Hawthorne. I met him yesterday coming out of his house, and I bid him good morning, and he wept and went his way. I think it is not well the village sees him so unsteady. Danforth. Perhaps he has some sorrow. Cheever, stamping his feet against the cold. I think it'd be the cows, sir. Danforth. Cows? Cheever. There be so many cows wander in the high roads now that their masters are in jail, and much disagreement with who they will belong to now. I know Mr. Paris be arguing with farmers all yesterday. There is a great contention, sir, about the cows. Contention makes him weep, sir. It were always a man that weep for contention. He turns, as do Hawthorne and Danforth, hearing someone come up the corridor. Danforth raises his head as Paris enters. He is gaunt, frightened, and sweating in his greatcoat. Paris, to Danforth, instantly. Oh, good morning, sir. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon waking you so early. Good morning, Judge Hawthorne. Danforth. Reverend Hale have no right to enter this. Paris. Excellency, a moment. He hurries back and shuts the door. Hawthorne. Do you leave him alone with the prisoners? Danforth. What's his business here? Paris, prayerfully holding up his hands. Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God. Danforth, surprised. He bids her confess? Paris, sitting. Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with him, and her sister, Martha Corey, and 2 or 3 others, and he pleads with them. Confess their crimes and save their lives. Danforth, why, this is indeed a providence. And they soften? Paris, no, not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, that we might think on whether it be wise to, he dares not say it. I had thought to put up a question, sir, and I hope you will not. Danforth. Mr. Paris, be plain. What troubles you? Paris. There is news, sir, that the court must reckon with. My niece, sir, I believe she has vanished. Danforth. Vanished? Paris. I thought to advise you of it earlier in the week, but... Danforth. Why? How long is she gone? Paris. This be the 3rd night. You see, sir, she told me she would stay a night with Mr. Mercy Lewis, and next day, when she does not return, I send to Mr. Lewis to inquire. Mercy told him she would sleep in my house for a night. Danforth. They are both gone? Paris, in fear of him. They are, sir. Danforth, alarmed. I will send a party for them. Where may they be? Paris. Excellency, I think they be aboard a ship. Danforth stands agape. My daughter tells me how she heard them speaking of ships last week, and tonight I discover my strong box is broken into. He presses fingers against his eyes to keep back tears. Hawthorne, astonished. She have robbed you? Paris. 31 pound is gone. I am penniless. He covers his face and sobs. Danforth. Mr. Paris. You are a brainless man. He walks in thought, deeply worried. Paris. Excellency, it profit nothing you should blame me. I cannot think they would run off except they fear to keep in Salem any more. He is pleading. Mark it, sir. Abigail had close knowledge of the town. Since the news of Andover has broken here, Danforth. Andover is remedied. The court returns there on Friday and will resume examinations. Paris. I am sure of it, sir, but the rumor here speaks rebellion in Andover in it. Danforth. There is no rebellion in Andover. Paris. I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown out the court, they say, and will have no part of witchcraft. There be a faction here, feeding on that news, and I tell you true, sir, I fear there will be a riot here. Hawthorne. Riot? Why, at every execution I have seen naught but high satisfaction in the town. Paris. Judge Hawthorne, it were another sort that hanged till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived 3 year with Bishop before she married him. John Proctor is not Isaac Ward that drank with his family to ruin. To Danforth. I would to God it were not so, Excellency, but these people have great weight yet in the town. Let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send up some righteous prayer, and I fear she'll wake a vengeance on you. Prayer. Hawthorne, Excellency. She is condemned a witch. The court have Danforth, in deep concern, raising his hand to Hawthorne. Pray you. To Paris? How do you propose, then? Paris? Excellency, I would propose these... I propose that we postpone these hangings for a time. Danforth, there will be no postponement. Paris, now Mr. Hale's returned. There is hope, I think, for, if he brings even one of these to God, the confession surely condemns the others in the public's eye, and none may doubt more that they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. Many honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears. Danforth, after thinking a moment, then going to Cheever. Give me the list. Cheever opens the dispatch case, searches. Paris, it cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people to come hear it. That speak a discontent, I think, and Danforth, studying the list. There will be no postponement. Paris, Excellency, Danforth, now, sir, which of these, in your opinion, may be brought to God? I will myself strive with him till dawn. He hands the list to Paris, who merely glances at it. Paris, there is not sufficient time till dawn. Danforth, I shall do my utmost. Which of them do you have hope for? Paris, not even glancing at the list now, and in a quavering voice, quietly, Excellency, a dagger. He chokes up. Danforth, what do you say? Danforth, Paris, tonight. Tonight, when I opened my door to leave my house, a dagger clattered to the ground. Silence. Danforth absorbs this. Now Paris cries out, You cannot hang this sort. There is a danger for me. I dare not step outside at night. Reverend Hale enters. They look at him for an instant in silence. He is steeped in sorrow, exhausted, and more direct than he ever was. Danforth, accept my congratulations, Reverend Hale. We are gladdened to see you return to your good work. Hale, coming to Danforth now. You must pardon them. They will not budge. Herrick enters, waits. Danforth, conciliatory. You misunderstand, sir. I cannot pardon these when 12 are already hanged for the same crime. It is not just. Paris, with failing heart. Rebecca will not confess? Hale, the sun will rise in a few minutes. Excellency, I must have more time. Danforth, now hear me and beguile yourselves no more. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the village expects to see them die this morning. Postponement now speaks floundering on my part. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. While I speak God's law, I will not crack its voice with whimpering. If retaliation is what is your fear, know this. I should hang 10,000 that dared to rise against the law, and an ocean of salt tears cannot melt the resolution of the statutes. Now draw yourselves up like men and help me, as you are bound by heaven to do. Have you spoken with all of them, Mr. Hale? Hale, all but Proctor. He is in the dungeon. Herrick to Danforth, what's Proctor's way now? Herrick, he sits like some great bird. You not know he lived, except he will take food from time to time. Danforth, after thinking a moment, his wife must be well on with child now. Herrick, she is, sir. Danforth, what think you, Mr. Paris? You have closer knowledge of this man. Might her presence soften him? Paris, it is possible, sir. He had not laid eye on her these 3 months. I should summon her. Danforth to Herrick, is he yet adamant? Has he struck at you again? Herrick, he cannot, sir. He is chained to the wall now. Danforth, after thinking of it, fetch Goody Proctor to me. Then let you bring him up. Herrick, aye, sir. Herrick goes. There is silence. Excellency, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you are striving for their confessions, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering. Danforth, Mr. Hale, as God have not empowered me like Joshua to stop the sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment. Hale, harder now. If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken. Danforth, instantly. You have rebellion spoken in the town? Hale, Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house, abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads, the stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere, and no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life. And you wonder yet if rebellion spoke? Better yet, you should marvel how they do not burn your province. Danforth, Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month? Hale, thank God they have no need of me in Andover. Danforth, you baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here? Hale, why, it is simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians as they should belie themselves. His sarcasm collapses. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head? Paris, hush. For he has heard footsteps. They all face the door. Herrick enters with Elizabeth. Her wrists are linked by a heavy chain, which Herrick now removes. Her clothes are dirty. Her face is pale and gaunt. Herrick goes out. Danforth, very politely, Goody Proctor. She is silent. I hope you are hearty. Elizabeth, as a warning reminder, I am yet 6 months before my time. Danforth, pray be at your ease. We come not for your life. We, uncertain how to plead, for he is not accustomed to it. Mr. Hale, will you speak with the woman? Hale, Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning. Pause. Elizabeth, quietly, I have heard it. Hale, you know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? She seems to doubt it. I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I count myself as his murderer. Do you understand me? Elizabeth, what do you want of me? Hale, Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 month like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie. Hawthorne, it is no lie. You cannot speak of lies. Hale, it is a lie. They are innocent. Danforth, I'll hear no more of that. Hale, continuing to Elizabeth, let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came to this village like a bridegroom to his beloved, bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought, and what I touched with my bright confidence, it died. And where I turned the eye of my great faith, blood flowed. Beware, Goody Proctor. Cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. It is mistaken law that leads you to sacrifice. Life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, woman, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for it may well be that God damns all liars less than he that throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another. Elizabeth, quietly, I think that be the devil's argument. Hale, with a climatic desperation, woman, before the laws of God we are as swine. We cannot read his will. Elizabeth, I cannot dispute with you, sir. I lack learning for it. Danforth, going to her, Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you? He will die with the sunrise, your husband. Do you understand it? She only looks at him. What say you? Will you contend with him? She is silent. Are you stone? I will tell you true, woman. Had I no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes now would be sufficient evidence that you delivered your soul up to hell. A very ape would weep at such calamity. Have the devil dried up any tear of pity in you? She is silent. Take her out. It profit nothing should she speak to you, or speak to him. Elizabeth, quietly, let me speak with him, Excellency. Paris, with hope, you'll strive with him? She hesitates. Danforth, will you plead for his confession, or will you not? Elizabeth, I promise nothing. Let me speak with him. And I'm gonna end it there. So maybe part 2 soon. I just don't like reading. It's not fun. Okay, guys. Maybe part 2 soon.